Hi guys, and welcome back to the Our Minds channel and another sit down video. One of the most unfortunate things that you can do, or we can do, I should say, in our lives is to survive it and not actually live it. Now, this is just me. This is just what I think. You don't have to believe it as well. But I don't believe that we're born, we go to school, we leave, we find a job, we work, we pay our bills, and then we die. And then that's our life done. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah. I know that life can be challenging, it can be difficult, it can be irritating, it can be unfair, it can be unbelievably painful. I understand all of that. But in all of that negativity, I do also believe that life can be incredibly beautiful and it can be enjoyable. And in order to experience the enjoyable moments and the beautiful moments, we actively have to create it for ourselves. We can't just sit there and wait for enjoyment to just fall in our laps. It doesn't work like that, which is why I say it is imperative to do one thing every single day that makes you feel good, providing that you do not hurt or harm other people. Now, I'm going to use myself as an example. So the one thing that I'm really looking forward to today is when I finish everything that I need to do today, there's this new documentary that has dropped on Netflix called I Am Not A. And I'm going to put the word up here because I feel like if I say it on here verbally, then I might get a strike from YouTube because the word is a bit of a sinister word. So it's just dropped this week. I cannot wait to watch it. Also, yesterday I went to Marks and Spencer's and I bought myself a few bits and pieces from there, food-wise. And I bought myself some chicken breast. I seasoned it yesterday, put some breadcrumbs over it, and that's what I'm going to eat for my dinner today. So I cannot wait to have my tasty dinner and watch that documentary. And that is my one thing that I'm doing for myself today that's going to make me feel good. It's not hurting or harming me, and I'm not harming other people. Done. Now, when I say start actively living, I'm not talking about, okay, slap 300 grand on your credit card, book a ticket to go to Dubai and stay there for 10 days. That's not what I'm talking about. However, if you've got 3 grand to spend and if you've got the time to go to Dubai and if you want to go to Dubai for 10 days, it's your life, your credit card, your money, have at it, do what you want. I'm not talking about that because let's be honest, not everybody has the funds to just, book a plane ticket to go to Dubai and stay there for 10 days. With everything, I'm talking on the most basic foundational level because we need to start at the bottom and then slowly but surely work our way up. Now, I am not ignorant to the fact that in this current economic climate, the main problem and one of the main reasons maybe I think that can spur on a depression is a lack of money. Because when you are struggling financially, it's hard. It is hard. And before I carry on, I just want to add here that I am single and I don't have any children. So maybe the advice that I might give in this video might not be beneficial, or it might not relate, or it might not work for people who have a partner, and most definitely if you have children. At this point, you can stay on and watch and you might pull some golden nuggets from what I'm about to say, but maybe you might want to find somebody else who does have children who'll be able to better speak to, whatever situation that you've got going on there. But let's take, for example, somebody who's working paycheck to paycheck. Let's be honest with ourselves. It's gonna be hard for that person to find one thing every day in their lives to make them feel good. It's gonna be hard. Let's keep it real. But let's stick with that, because if you really deep it, you can. Right. So you're working paycheck to paycheck. First positive point, you have a job job, okay? Because in this current climate, there are so many people who are struggling to find a job. I have a good friend of mine, and she's, for the past 3-4 months now, at most 4 months, she's been trying to find a job, and unfortunately she's been unsuccessful. So be thankful that you have a job. Yes, your job is probably dry, and yes, your work colleagues are as irritated as heck, but you got a job. Second point, that dry job that you have, it's helping to pay your bills and it's keeping a roof over your head because you're able to pay your rent and your mortgage. Let me tell you something. Yeah. And I know it's something, I'm just being dramatic by saying something. In my mid 20s, I was 23, 24, maybe even 25. Yeah, my mid 20s. I was living paycheck to paycheck and a dry job that I was doing. And at the time, I had a Capital One credit card, yeah. It got to a point where my funds were so dead and dried up that I didn't have enough to pay for my credit card bill. And it went on for a little bit of time. And it got so bad, it got to a point where Capital One then started calling me. And they weren't calling me like once a day. Nah. These people were calling me multiple times throughout the day to find out what is going on. And me back then, I was so scared and I was so embarrassed. I just buried my head in the sand like an ostrich, hoping that, the wind would just blow away the situation. So when money is involved, money is hard to make you realize and see the good that is around you. I completely get that. But may I suggest something? Let's just give yourself maybe, I don't know what your situation is, but give yourself, let's say, 6 months. And if you've got the time and if you're mentally and emotionally able to, find yourself a little part-time job. Not in a disrespectful way when I say little, but find yourself a part-time job. It could be anywhere. It could be working in the sorting office, it could be working in a warehouse, it could be working in a shop. Just find the job where they readily employ people because of the organization that it is. Set yourself that 6 months and say, you know what, the money I earn from this part-time job, I'm going to use that to pay off my loan, to pay off my credit card, and free yourself up financially a bit. And, that can give you more peace of mind. Another thing that I found, when you start to do one thing every day and you start to actively live your life, when you start off by doing one thing every day that makes you feel good, at some point, I can't tell you exactly how far into it, but at some point you start to crave more and you find yourself wanting to now do 2 things that make you feel good. And once you start doing that, you then realize that you're saying yes to a lot more things. For example, with me, one of my friends, she really likes musicals, and she was like, oh, you know what, we should go to a musical. Now, I no offense, I'm not the biggest fan of musicals. The only musical off the top of my head that I really enjoyed watching was Chicago, and no, I didn't enjoy that one. Just Chicago, I really enjoyed Chicago. But I was like, you know what, yeah, why not go to a musical, sit there. I've got a new group of, well, they're not new anymore, but I've got a new group of friends. Let's sit there, enjoy the musical, spend £10 in a tub of ice cream, and let's just have a fun time. I had another one. Well, no, it was the same friend. And she was like, oh yeah, and you know what, it'll be really, really good to do something really arts and crafty, and let's do drawing. Again, I cannot stand drawing. I am not a creative person. I don't like making things. I don't like drawing things. I just want to buy something, and that whatever that something is that I bought, it's already been created. That's what I want. Just be already prepared. But I found myself saying, yeah, all right, it could be an experience. It's not something that I would personally suggest or choose to do. But yeah, let's just do it. But my whole point is actively start to live your life. Yes, I know it's hard. And I don't want to be ignorant to the fact, but whatever challenge that you are going through, try your very best to see the positives from that. It's so easy to just sit there and be like, oh, I'm going through this, or oh, I'm going through that. And that's where you start going down that slippery slope. And before you know it, you've ended up having a depressed or being in a depressive episode. And that is what we do not want. So whatever situation that you are in, yes, I know it's hard, but try your very best to find the positive in that. And where you find the positive, as small as it is, now start to work on it. And I promise you, because I have been there, if you have been watching this channel from the beginning, I have spoken about my depression. I've spoken about how bad my depression was in the year that was 2011. And here I am on big old YouTube now giving advice about depression and things. So trust me when I say this to you, start to actively live your life. Don't just survive it. You are going to face those challenging times. I am not the oracle. I am not God. I don't know why. And some challenges are going to be more intense than the next challenge. And just when you think I've overcome another challenge, boof, you get slapped with another intense challenge. But there is always a way out. Pray on it, lean into that, put that tiny bit of positive within that challenge, and let's go. So guys, that is today's video. Hopefully what I said, as always, it made sense. When you finish watching this video, start to actively enjoy your life. Take care, and I will most definitely see you in the next one. Bye-bye.